Hello everyone, we're back with some more Fate Grand Order with the Götterdämmerung chapter. Dude, Needle Chris is staring at us. I recorded some earlier today. I just got done recording some Final Fantasy, and I'm like, I can go for another chapter of Fate. I want to play more. I want to see Napoleon. Castle of Snow and Ice. So I forgot to check, but I think this chapter is supposed to be pretty short, so that's good. And I think the next one is very long, so I'll have to check that. Because if that's the case, I'll have to split it into two. So yeah, there's Napoleon. What's his last name? Like Bronahart. That's it. That's Bronahart. Yep. It's something like that. Seems like it's time for other Needle Curse. This is probably a filler fight. Let's get Vlad in here. And on the Japanese servers, I'm finally about to hit Bond 11 on Angra and I think Vlad too. It's about time. Section 5, Castle of Snow and Ice beginning. Speaking of, the new boss belt kinda came out. Yep, we're here in the village with Napoleon. Okay, no time has passed at all. But maybe? The gate won't open, will it? No, Gerda. It only opens on the ordained day. Assuming you stay here and don't go out again, at least. But, why don't you just open it then if you want to go die? I mean, you could have... She left yesterday. It opens. I won't. Nobody has a fever right now. Is there more to it that it's just not saying, or... You did a good deed, Gerda, so the goddess and the envoys will forgive you. That they didn't punish you is proof enough of that, right? Still, the gate won't open. Is it like a cultural thing and she like snuck out? But she's like really not supposed to? Still, the gate won't open. Wonder if we really will have to wait for the next ordained day to set off on our journey, like he said we would. This has never happened before. What's going to happen now? Almost feels like I'm dreaming. An envoy only comes on the ordained day. The goddess hasn't permitted them to descend from Mount Valhalla any other time. At least, that's what that man with the huge metal thing said. Whether it's true or not is beyond me. Honestly, not sure what to do now either. Never even occurred to us that something like this could happen. It looks like Legolas. Some are saying we should try to force the gate open now, but... You can't! We'll never get to go to Valhalla without an envoy. So, in that case... Maybe you could all just wait until next year? Yeah, suppose we could. Of course you could. All the children are thinking about how nice it would be to make the flower bed past the field a bit bigger. But I'll be so happy if the grown-ups helped us. I mean that, you know? So what do you say? Dang, it looks like I have to live another year. Alright. Fire in the mountains? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that either. How did we get out? Did we jump over the gate? The snow and ice at least makes some sense, but the fire? I got nothing. Really? You know what's going on with the ice that covers the mountain and the snow that covers all of Scandinavia? Fofo. Yeah, more or less. What's with his lips? Might as well explain while we're taking a break. I guess it's about time I told you the point of this march anyway. So I never did tell you where I wanted to go after we left the village, did I? All you said was join me. Sorry about that. Alright then, let's start right at the beginning. You two know about the myth of Ragnarok, right? Yep. On this lost spell, it looks like the last war between the gods and the giants still took place. But as you've likely figured out for yourselves, the Age of Gods didn't end here for some reason. Thanks to that, civilization never developed, humans are still worshipping gods, and giants roam unchecked around the mountains. Basically, for the last 300 or so years, 3,000 or so years, things have remained pretty much the same as they were back in 1000 BC, when the Norse Age of Gods was originally meant to end. Are there different ages of gods? Like, did it end for the Norse before it did for, like, the Greeks, for example? I mean, it makes sense. Or I don't know. That's what led to this place heading down a slightly different path from the myth we know. Just slightly. The Age of Gods lasting into the present day. Then Director Gordolf and Da Vinci were right. Yep, real deals right here in Scandinavia. Didn't you hear the kids going on about goddess this and goddess that? Well, there you are. She didn't die in Ragnarok or turn into a divine spirit. She's remained intact to this day. Now she rules this lost belt, using her 100 envoys as a go-between to keep both the giants and humans in check. She's the last god in Scandinavia. She's kept the Age of Gods going all this time. She lives in the northern part of the Oslo Fjord, the castle located in proper human history's old Oslo region. The Queen of Scandinavia, who covered half its mountains in frost. What's your name? Scatach-skadi. I feel like they added a bit. I feel like half of that was in Norse mythology. Goddess of snow and ice. I actually have no idea why Skadi is Skyhawk, other than fan service. The last remaining deity, and the one in charge of this entire lost belt. We're not talking about servant here. We're talking full-blown, honest-to-goodness goddess. Trying to get to her castle. It's probably where you'll find the cryptor and that servant too. I bet it's also where that paper moon thing is, along with, what was it called again? The Tree of Emptiness? Anyway, but they know where you can find that too. Huh? Skyhawk? Yup. You mean that Skyhawk? That's what I said. Full, that's Skyhawk, full? Get off of me. What is this thing, a dog? I'm okay with dogs. Oh. He reminds me a little bit of Merlin. What's your problem? What did I say? Full? Stay. What's gotten into you? Really fight? Look, if Foe doesn't like Napoleon, I'm sorry, dude. That's the narrative telling me not to trust you. Napoleon's evil, confirmed. What about the giants? Indeed, they may appear to be quite active, but they're not exactly industrious. I hold absolute authority over them. I can make them attack or sleep with a single command. Still hiding her face. But even I cannot suppress their instincts. The giants who can survive consume heat in any form they can. While most of them remain in hibernation, they'll awaken at the slightest hint of a new heat source and devour it immediately. Then the giants can't serve as a proper, disciplined army, as I suspected. Of course, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your ability to control many of them at once, but... as familiars go, they're third rate at best. Saber. It's quite alright. That knight of yours is correct, Ophelia. The giants may have lived through the fires of Ragnarok as the humans and I did, but they are a pitiful shadow of their former selves. Still, they are once proud, mighty souls. That is why I love them, for they, too, are living things here in Scandinavia. We gods may not have always have seen eye to eye with giants, but they are still beings on par with us. The heat of the flames scorched them all. It twisted the frost giants, the mountain giants. No giant escapes its wrath. Now they have become so twisted that they are little more than walking calamities. They bring nothing but death and destruction, just like fire. So I shall keep them in check myself. With the masks born in my own hands, I can unite all the giants under my rule. For I carry the noble blood of Ymir in my icy veins. Aha. So you two knew Skyhawk from proper human history, huh? Unfortunately, this version of her is absolutely not the person you know. She's not a divine spirit, not a god that has lost his body and dissolved back into nature. She's an actual, living goddess. But yeah, why is she Skadi and Skyhawk, though? Skadi, goddess and queen, has been around for thousands of years, ever since the Age of Gods. A fusion of the Norse goddess Skadi and the Celtic warrior Skyhawk. Skadi. I see. I did hear that certain aspects of Skyhawk from proper human history may have blended in with the Norse deity Skadi. Really? Like, is that Nasuverse canon or real life canon? I suppose that means in this last belt, Skadi, the goddess of the snowy mountains who herself is part giant, would be the predominant figure over Skyhawk. Yep, that's pretty much it. Here in this Lost Belt, where the age of gods never ended, she rules over humans and giants alike. Her goal seems to be everything to remain as it is. I guess that's part of the same as other Lost Belts. Nothing else, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to wipe humanity out. In fact, word has it that scatach-skadi loves all forms of life. That's what I've been hearing anyway. From who? Fall? Who did you hear that from though? Loves? Means we can reason with her. Long as we don't go openly declaring war on her or anything. She won't see us as enemies. Guaranteed. But, well, how does he know that? Because the villagers don't actually, like, they wouldn't know her name probably, right? They just called her goddess. Maybe they didn't know her name. But who would tell him that? Okay, I went from loving this guy to being slightly suspicious now because of Fall. He kickstarted it. But Napoleon, we've already destroyed a number of our envoys. Trust me, it's going to take more than that to ruffle this queen's feathers. I know that sounds pretty weird, but it's true. She doesn't call herself the Mother of Scandinavia for nothing. Wait, Mother? That's right. That said, I can understand why you'd be nervous, especially after that big dust-up we had with the envoys. That's as much of my fault as it is yours. Sorry for getting you too caught up in that. We're just grateful you saved us. Hey, thanks. Makes me feel a lot better. I have to say, Napoleon, I'm impressed how much you know about both this Lost Belt and proper human history. Napoleon Bonaparte. There we go. You first made a name for yourself after the French Revolution in 1789, eventually going on to become the first Emperor of France. As the supreme commander of the Grande Armée, you were one of France's greatest rulers and conquerors. For a time, you controlled over half of Europe. Your grand expedition to Russia is particularly well known. Well, you could call it grand. But at least in our database, I haven't seen anything regarding your exploits that pertains to Scandinavia. I did hear you're quite the fans of James Macpherson's Ossian, which had epic poems similar to the Norse Poetic Edda, but that's all. What I'm trying to say is, you must have acquired yourself knowledge of Scandinavia after you materialized. Ah, she's suspicious too. The Poetic Edda, though, that's like the go-to book for like Norse mythology, or book? I think it's a book. Is that right, Napoleon? Yeah, how do you know so much? Never Napoleon who knows all about Scandinavia. Haha, well, sure. I materialized here just a little bit before you all showed up. That's why I happen to know so much. Been getting all this information while I travel around on foot and on some skis I made. Oh yeah, we have better skis though. As to the source of my information, well, I think I'll hold off on that for now. Red flags going off. Wee-hoo. I've played through most of Epic of Remnant. I've been betrayed 4 times. I haven't played Salem yet, but probably 5 times. An air of mystery makes hotties like me even hottier, don't you think? Yo. Oof. Look, Foe's telling me not to trust him. What is it? We're gonna fess up to everything and no secrets? Come on, lay off me, doggo. I hate it. I've got my reasons. Foe isn't actually a dog. Well, let me be perfectly clear about one thing. This here heroic spirit's on humanity's side. I'm your ally. I came here to save you. Just make sure you don't forget that. Long as you don't, you can even make a temporary contract if you want. Senpai? Okay, we got no choice but to trust him. I trust Napoleon. Yes, I agree. He's capable and trustworthy. I mean, I feel like I would know if he was like a villain. I don't remember fighting him in Lost Belt 2. I mean, it's entirely possible I forgot I did, but... That's right. I couldn't believe my eyes when I first saw an archer like you wielding that enormous cannon. Well, yeah, he's an archer. What do you think you'd use? A bow? Don't be silly. Oh, is that so? I think artillery specialists were all that uncommon. Then again, maybe it's tougher than I thought for someone like that to make their mark on humanity. It's not like I was an artillery officer my whole life. That's what like he started out as, right? Like my spirit origin and normal phantasm are both pretty much afterthoughts. Well then, I mean, you didn't use a cannon like that when you were alive? Of course not. You're a riot, mademoiselle. Can you imagine an emperor like me going around with a cannon like that? Like this? Wait, I guess I shouldn't laugh, huh? Sorry about that. It's just not that uncommon in modern heroic spirits. I don't know what sort of adventures you've gotten up to before, but haven't you seen anything like this with other modern heroic spirits from proper human history? I'm trying to think of an example. You know, where they turned out to be kind of a caricature of their real selves. Oh yeah, Thomas Edison, Edison? Tesla. Trying to think of other, like, modern... Well, I mean, he says modern, but he's from the 1700s. Well, he was alive in the 1800s. Probably. I think he was, at least. Oh, Babbage. Oh, now that you mention it, Babbage's heroic spirit materialized as a mechanical suit of armor. And Edison doesn't look remotely close to how he did when he was alive, maybe because of the special circumstances regarding his materialization. Some of them end up turning into innocent monsters, too. Alright? In my case, I got this gigantic cannon. That's not all that's different. Just look how tall I am. Ooh la la! Won't be getting called short anytime soon. Not a chance. Is that not how tall he was in real life? Well, Napoleon in that was like 5'7", I think? Which back then was relatively tall, I think? I think the reason people think he's short is because they measured him, I think, in French feet. So in French feet, he'd be like, you know, let's say like 4'5", which, you know, makes him seem really short. But as far as looks go, I've got my own reasons for appearing like I do. Enough of that, though. Anything else you want to ask me? Yes. Ho. Remember how Gerda said that, at least in Village 23, an envoy won't come again for another year? Is there a reason for that? Something you know from your unidentified information source? You can't be totally certain it'll be another year, but that sounds right to me. But that's not my source talking. Learned that firsthand. How? Just look how many of them showed up this time. The envoys aren't allowed to sacrifice humans on any day besides the one that goddess lady. Scatach-skadi ordained. So they must have brought a whole bunch of them along to make sure the ritual didn't go off the rails again. Hold up again? Alright, this wasn't my first run-in with them. Back in another village, I caught one of them trying to open those giant gates and sniped them. It was just the one back then, really because they didn't expect anyone to attack them. But that obviously wasn't the case with the last village. Remember them saying something about shared records? Yeah, you gotta, like, upload the data. Well, the data from the one I sniped got shared with the rest. Looks like they responded by shoring up their numbers in preparation for another attack. Oh, that makes sense. They always don't care about the Queen's philanthropy. They're basically machines. No reasoning with them. I see. Fo. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is... I'm sorry! I had no idea they'd come back with those kind of numbers. Guess I really messed things up for you too. Oh no, not at all. We never would have won without your help. Especially given how strong each envoy was individually. But if it wasn't for him, we'd only fight the one. Well, he saved people doing that, but oh yeah, that. Guess I had a level with you. Pretty sure the sisters they based the envoys off of are even stronger. The ones we ran into yesterday are basically mass-produced dolls that Queen scatach-skadi made by infusing them with their own magical energy. Mass-produced dolls. That hits close to home, huh? Might as well get this out there too. The Queen here is merciful, yes, but the whole place is lousy with powerful, vicious enemies. Stuffed storm of envoys, pardon my French. That lost belt servant with his demonic sword. Almost no allies for us. So he's met Sigurd. Even with the odds that stacked against us, are you two still ready to fight? So, of the people we know, his informant could be Skadi? I don't think so. Ophelia? I mean, it's possible, especially given she's not exactly working with Skadi. And it makes sense that she wants Mashu to live, so she sends someone to help, but I don't think so. What's with his finger? Like, the The joint. That looks weird. But of the people we know, Ophelia makes the most sense. There's another character that I don't know what her role is in the story, but I know she shows up. Could be her, or it could be a fourth unknown character. Brynhild, I guess. I have no idea what Brynhild's doing. Even with the odds that stacked against us, are you two still ready to fight? That's why we came here. Exactly. Yes, we're ready to fight. Although I feel like the second Brynhild and Sigurd meet, Sigurd's gonna be like, oh hey, I'm gonna take off my mask and be cool again. We're the only ones who have a chance, no matter how small, of restoring Earth in proper human history. So that's why... Gotcha. It's good to hear. Me, I'm the guy who once ruled over most of Europe. Say that's more or less makes me its king. Special translation. What's Boney here going on about? Boney. So if you call for me, I'll come running right away. Doesn't matter where. Even way up north. Doesn't matter how cold it is. I'll be there. Well, last time it got too cold. You know what happened. After all, if someone begs for my help, how can I refuse? He's so cool. Back when I was alive, there's a mountain of problems keeping my hands tied. Like budgetary concerns and stockpiling issues. But now that I'm a heroic spirit fighting for humanity, nothing's gonna hold me back. Haha. There might be only so many categories of things I can help with, but there's two things I do best. It's fight hard and win. If that's what you're looking for, then your search is over. Besides, Scandinavia is still part of Europe. Nobody's better at winning in Europe than I am. Luckily, we found him here instead of in the Russian Lost Belt. Senpai, his confidence and spirit are amazing. Although there is one thing I'm a little concerned about. As I recall, Emperor Napoleon's biggest defeat was when the Grande Armée couldn't handle the Russian winter. Is that Armée? Armée? Yes, exactly. That defeat would go on to be a major factor in the decline of his reign. Honestly, it would have been nice to get another crack at Russia for my revenge. But oh well. C'est la vie. Still, since we're in a harsh wintry environment too, I'll settle for avenging my Grand Army's defeat here. Does that count? Don't be like that, Private. Private? You mean Senpai? Come on, at least Colonel. Yep, you're the first recruit of my new Grand Army. Good luck. Work hard enough and maybe you'll even earn a medal. I want a medal? Fo. I'm sorry, but didn't you already give Senpai a medal? What? Alright, I did, didn't I? Ah, crap. Guess we lost track of time. Oh, fairly fight. Looks like we ran into a group of them out on patrol, mademoiselle. You're right. Magical energy signals are headed towards us. Fortunately, they're still far away enough that I can use my thrusters to make a clean get away. Now I say we let them find us. I want to get a better look at how you two fight. I'm not saying we do this for kicks. We need to hone our skills against opponents who know we can defeat before we come up against someone really tough. We need to get better at fighting together as a unit. Call it teamwork if you like. So what do you say? Makes sense to you, Private? Yeah, another filler fight. Now we're talking. What are we fighting, giants? Sounds like a giant. Alright, here they are. Let's get this battle underway, Private. Okay. Pretty long first chapter. I think the second one will probably just be another filler fight, honestly. Or it might be 0 AP. We'll see. But yeah, what's it on? Lost Belt 5.5 came out in the Japanese servers. I'm excited for, I mean, it's... I'm allowed to talk about future servants, right? It looks like they're adding adult Ushiwaka Mario, Yoshitsune, I think it's pronounced. Which I'm excited for. And they gave her clothes. It's the best thing to ever happen. I'm still kind of sad I didn't get her swimsuit, but I would love for... I believe she's an Avenger. It seems like she's data mined, so she's definitely going to be playable. Just hopefully it's, you know, week 2 instead of, you know, week 200. Like a certain heroic spirit. Who, Shmora, whose name rhymes with Shmora Shmama? What, Shmora Shmasa? There we go. Still waiting on Muramasa. I don't want to go that far in. I was going to say something, but I won't. He'll come out eventually, right? He'll be out before Fate Grand Order 2 comes out. Maybe. What if they put him on the same banner as Kirei? Just one big one. That sucks. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I need to do Needle Chris's interlude. Need to remember that. Because I mean, the damage up. Ow, I bit my tongue. Damage up is pretty big. Plus, I don't know what else it gains. But even if it's just damage up, it's good. It'd be nice if it's like more insta death up, or maybe that's not good. Because I think if you insta kill them, that hurt. That also hurt. But I think if it's an insta kill, you don't gain Noble Phantasm, which obviously sucks. Oh, we can get his Noble Phantasm off. I don't know if this will kill it, but should do good damage. I need to grail someone, honestly, on NA. I think maybe I'll bring Ushi up to 90. And I'd like to bring Vlad to 100. Same with Angra. Well, Angra's kind of a meme in that I don't use him, actually, for gameplay. But I love him regardless. So maybe keeping him at 90 is fine. Oh, he's not in my backline. Oh, I got it. I don't have him on 11. On 5 for Needle Curse. That's nice. Probably not post-battle dialogue, right? Oh, come on. Let me in. Oh, there is post-battle. I was about to say the second chapter is probably going to be from one of their points of view, but I guess not. This Hinako person's lost belt is absolutely out of the question. And his lost belt 3. 2 of the other 4 that remain are completely unfit as well. So I'm trying to think of which ones are fit. I'm assuming Kristaria's and Camel? I don't know. In which case, I suppose we all need to cooperate with the Great Ones of Greece, as you originally proposed? Yes, Your Majesty. I believe that would be wisest. Peperoncino is an excellent crypter in his own right. His lost belt is of high quality. Oh, is India the other good one? I know that there's something up with Camelon in South America. Like, I don't know what it is. I just know their lost belts are weird. But in my estimation, it still does not compare to yours, Queen scatach-skadi. I do find that crypter charming, but given what you have told me, I cannot say I care for his lost belt. Still, I much prefer to the one lying right in the middle of a continent. So, lost belt 3? That's China. Or maybe Peperoncino's, because India. I mean, it's not in the middle, but... And I said, what a bizarre name he has. Peperoncino? Does have a strange charm to it. It does. No matter. Let us discuss something else. The incident that took place in Village 23. It seems members of Chaldea did indeed join forces with that man. I'm told they destroyed quite a number of my daughters. The envoy is modeled after the Valkyries. My knights and I will see that they are dealt with at once. Just say the word and I'll kill them. Even a demonic sword gets rusty if you don't use it now and then. What have I told you? You'll kill no one. She does love us. Despite your pledge to serve me, Ophelia, I see your heart still lies with another. However, this is still my world, so you'll kill no one. They may end up meeting their end at the hands of giants, at the hands of other imitation Valkyries. But that is simply the way of the world. It is natural as footprints on morning snow. There is no need to involve your demonic sword. Besides, did I not tell you I would love them? I did not think you were serious. You say that as if it doesn't concern you. Ophelia, your deadpan expression is impressive, but also dull. Then again, he doesn't want my love, does he? Who's he, Napoleon or Sigurd? Or me? Be that as it may, when it comes to dealing with others besides myself, my question remains the same. That is, do I kill them or love them? If I decide to kill them, I do so immediately. I halt them, freeze them, and destroy them. But decide to love them, I do so until their dying breath. I nurture them and stay with them as they die. All humans are my children, as are all giants. Do I kill them or love them? My enemies I kill, my children I love. You've already said this. That is who I am, the queen, the mother of Scandinavia. Yet again, that goes for you too, Ophelia, and you, knight. You are my beloved daughter, and you, my precious son. Every life that grows here in Scandinavia is my child. No. Your kindness knows no bounds, your majesty. Indeed, that goes for the 3 Valkyries Odin entrusted to me as well. Thrud, come here. I don't know which one is Thrud. Oh, blonde one, okay. Valkyrie Thrud, reporting for duty. I think it's Thrud, not Thread. Wonderful to see you in good health, scatach-skadi, our goddess and protector, and you, Lady Ophelia, her sworn ally. Have I not told you to call me mother? Really now. As you wish. Sure does rattle on a lot for a doll. What is your command? We shall obey any order you give us. For you are our master, scatach-skadi. After all these years, you still refuse to behave as my daughter. No matter how often I see it, it still manages to impress me. Tell me, my beloved daughter, as leader of my 100-odd envoys, what do you make of this incident in Village 23? I know you are obedient, but despite what that knight says, I also know you are no mindless wooden doll. We are meant to execute our master's commands, cannot make decisions on our own. It's quite alright, just tell me what you think. Keep it to pure analysis if you must. Very well. Of course, if you say these transgressors will be permitted to remain alive, we shall act accordingly. I do think they can be left alone. As for the destroyed envoys, they are mass-produced units with no ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Still, based on what I've seen in our shared records, I don't think the 3 of us will need to respond. Even if circumstances change, and we do end up needing to deal with them, I think the giants... The next 10 chapters are just us killing giants. We don't fight any more servants as we make our way to Skadi's castle. Or a mass-produced unit's self-destruct function will be sufficient. Oh? I'm told the transgressors are a human, and one who is half human, half heroic spirit. There's no need for the 3 of us to confront such a lowly foe. Cheeky little doll, isn't she? Come on, Ophelia, just say the word. I want to break it right here and now. Don't be ridiculous. Her Majesty is right there. Do not act without my permission. That is fine. I like the way your knight speaks his mind. But stay your sword. You're not to harm my daughter. She is adorable in her own way. I accept her as she is, and love her. Very well then, Sir Knight. Would you like to try drawing that demonic sword of yours right now? Your Majesty. Give me the command, Your Majesty, and that heroic spirit will be destroyed, demonic sword and all. It may be difficult for Thrud alone, but our chances of success would improve greatly with all 3 of us. That's alright. It is my ferocious daughter. Know that even I tend to jest at times. Why is she still a silhouette? Like, we know her name. We know her face. She was in like an advertisement back when the Lost Foots first were announced. That wasn't funny, scatach-skadi. Do forgive me. Seeing your adorably innocent faces, I simply couldn't help myself. Is audio not working? Oh, no, okay, it is. My OBS is like half off the screen because it's display capture. And the bar's not moving most of the time. Now then, I think I shall return to my throne for a time. I doubt they'll make it here by tonight. By tomorrow evening, expect we'll have guests. Oh yeah, I moved OBS a little, I can see it now. No doubt they'll encounter more of the giants that roam my world, destroy more imitation Valkyries before then. Sounds like we'll be reaching the castle by like the halfway point probably then. I do wonder though, they'll survive long enough for us to meet. Or maybe even next chapter? Well, yeah, the chapter's called like the castle of what's it, right? So it sounds like we're going to meet Skadi sooner rather than later. Oh, a cave. Hero's Lair. Oh, that's a writer. Kinda seems like it's more giants, but I'm not for sure. I mean, using scadi is inappropriate, given, you know, I'm like a waiver. Probably more AoE, so I also wouldn't mind grappling both of the Needle Curses to 90. Or even 100. I like Needle Curse. Oh, straight into battle. Huh. They're probably going to explain what's going on in the post-battle. Like, oh hey, we found this cave to stay for the night. Cool. End of chapter. And 1 out of 2. Oh, Valkyrie's thrown in. Okay. Don't know what else to say. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Last Bolt 5.5. So yeah, Yoshitsune came out. And same with Ashiya Domen, who was, you know, caster of Limbo back in Shimosa. Well, that's kind of a well. This servant being summonable is not a spoiler. I mean, it arguably is, but shh. And who's the other guy? Like some Japanese guy. And it seems like there's some Oni that's also gonna be added. I don't know their name. But yeah, Yoshitsune is 100% getting rolled for. I haven't actually finished 5.5 yet. I'm like halfway through. You can't actually see the chapters in game, which is stupid, but I think I'm on chapter 8. Is it 15-ish? I've been told. I'm halfway through. There's been a couple hard fights, and I've heard they get harder. Okay. They should do some pretty good damage. Especially with the 2 crates. Yep, okay. Show me what you got, Needle Curse. Okay, important question. Which Needle Curse Ascension is the best for her swimsuit? The Medjed? The Medjed Lifted, or just the regular one? I tend to dislike joke outfits, but the Medjeds are pretty good. Like, that's why I don't really like swimsuit servants that much, just because they're kind of gimmicky. Although, I mean, like, you know, like using a swimsuit in the middle of winter, for example, it's kind of weird. Although with Needle Curse, she's actually wearing more clothes than her her base character. Same thing with Ushiwaka Mario. At least one of her ascensions. Rainbow. Alright, there goes the last one. Nice job, you two. Gotta say, didn't think we'd be running into more mass-produced Valkyries out here. You know, we should probably use Napoleon in battle sometimes. Just so we get, you know, show his animations, hear his voice. I have Napoleon, but I haven't used him in a while. Then again, both those things of the giants are loyal to the queen, so it makes sense they might fight side by side. It was like something straight out of myth, seeing Valkyries with giants in tow. Plus get his Pokédex entry. It was rather magnificent, seeing them both together like that. At any rate, Master, confirm there are no more magical energy signals nearby. Well done. Thank you too, Napoleon. You're a big help. Huh? He's blushing. Oh sure, no problem. Gotta say though, you two handled yourselves pretty nicely. Could tell you've done this before. You got your old guts, little shield lady. You too, Horsey. How do you summon so many heroic spirits at once? Don't suppose you could get them to stick around. Sorry, they're stuck in my briefcase. Full. That's a dang shame. Otherwise, I could have put together the greatest grand army of all time. But there's no sense crying over, Milk you can't even spell. Anyway, we'll just have to build up our strength the old-fashioned way. In other words, the 3 of us have got to get stronger. Let's see. Yeah, let me give you some tips for hunting giants. First off, try to go for their sensory organs or legs. Oh, got it. Let me write that down. It's your best bet unless you've got a real powerhouse of a weapon. so we can go straight for the vitals and take them out in one shot. You keep saying sensory organs, but do you mean their heads? That's right. It's full of sensory organs. Those masks they wear cover up their eyes and noses. And it doesn't look like their hearing is exceptional. So they might be relying on some kind of sixth sense or an ability that lets them detect heat sources. But I figure eyes are a safe bet. I don't know if that's just Napoleon being weird or if him calling them sensory organs is like some kind of foreshadowing for something. So make sure you go for their heads, even if you have to hit them through their masks. They're a big target, so it shouldn't be too tough to damage them. When going for the legs, the knees and ankles are the best targets. The giant's size and mask can be intimidating. Once you've knocked them to the ground, they're pretty much sitting ducks. In other words, there's nothing too special about it. Just follow best practice. Fo. You really know your way around a giant fight, huh? Yes, I'm surprised too. I had no idea you were also a great giant killer. I don't know of any tales about you killing giants myself, though. Is it possible for stories to be both secret and passed down to others? Don't worry, you're not missing any stories. Things just sort of worked out this way. There's something going on with Napoleon. Well, that's obvious. I mean, he directly said it, but... Well, worked out? Pretty much. Gonna be nightfall soon. Perfect. What do you say we make camp for the night right around there? Besides, I think it's about time we talk tactics. Are we actually talking tactics or ending the chapter? We're talking tactics. Oh, wow. There really are camping facilities here. Did you set all this up ahead of time, Napoleon? You bet. Get base camps like this set up all around this last belt. Set them up with gear I pilfer. Borrowed from the village where I drove off that one odd boy. Still, the best part of being a rogue servant is... you never have to worry about supplies. All you need is a place to rest your body and mind for a while. Of course, I doubt it'll be that easy for you two. Oh no, we'll be fine. But thank you for your concern. We always carry food, water, and sleeping bags with us. I showed us storage space, you see? Here we go. Full. Don't worry, Full. We have some for you, too. You know, I'll put some water in your dish right now. Full. Huh, that's pretty handy. You never have too many blankets. Here. Thanks. Nice and warm. We still have the rations we brought from the border, but for tonight, why won't we have Gerda's bread? I miss Gerda. Too bad we had to say our goodbyes so hastily. Wonder how Gerda's doing right now. Me too. Hope we get to see her again at some point. I hope that you just don't ignore her for the rest of the Lost Belt and just have her die at the end. Like, with Ponzi, he traveled with you for like the first half of the Lost Belt, I think. Yes, I hope so too. So I imagine she'll come back later, but... Full. Ah, Full. It's you to start eating your food before everyone's been served. Oh. And that looks good. Let me try a bite. It is good. In fact, it deserves a medal. Gerda gets a medal too. She gets to join the army. Said her name is Gerda? Looks like she earned a medal of her own. Phew, that hit the spot. Alright, let's talk about tactics. Sorry for springing all this on you. Not at all. It's good to discuss this as early as possible. Thank you for doing this. I'm the one who should be thanking you. Oh. So tomorrow, we're gonna make our move on the enemy. We'll be sneaking into the castle near Old Oslo, right? And when we do, we'll almost certainly have a fight waiting for us. Sigurd alone was a really tough enemy. Good question. I didn't ask a question, I just said... So to begin, we need to define our conditions for victory. Well, the question we need to ask is, what must we do to win? And conversely, what would mean that we have completely, absolutely lost? Can we only win by wiping out the enemy? No. We can't possibly kill every giant and envoy in Scandinavia. We wouldn't want to. So that's not a suitable condition for victory. Now what you two need to do is, more than anything, is get the Paper Moon back. Retrieving the Paper Moon is our highest, most urgent priority. And we also absolutely require information on the Tree of Emptiness, since we can't see it. It may end up being after we make contact with the Wandering Sea, but we will eventually need to destroy it, and... Make this last belt disappear. And that's your victory condition. That's what you need to do. Get this paper moon thing back. Find out what you can about the Tree of Emptiness. So what is your defeat condition? Easy. Both end up dead. So your only choice is to keep yourself safe and set about meeting your victory condition. If it were just a matter of defeating your enemies, things would be simple. Unfortunately, your condition for victory is pretty far from straightforward. Oh. Now, doggy, cheer up. No, it looks bad. The Queen's influence extends to all of Scandinavia, after all. But she has no intention of throwing everything she's got at us. She doesn't? If she wanted us dead, we would be. The envoys and giants all act as she desires, almost like puppets. She ordered the giants in this area to find and attack us, would be fighting them off every minute of the day. But that's obviously not what she's done. They haven't even raised any kind of alarm about us, let alone created a defensive line or anything. So they're not on the alert. That's right. As the Supreme Commander of the Grand Army, pains me to say this, but she doesn't even think of us as an enemy. I think at worst, she sees us as something like a pack of wild animals. Well, that's reassuring. But that's okay. It's our end. She's leaving herself wide open by not putting up her guard. Oh, and one more thing. I thought he was coming in to kiss us. Kinda looks like he's puckering up. Listen close. Once we make our way into their base, and they're not going to tell us what he's saying because it's going to be a secret. Which means his plan works. Because if they tell us the plan's not going to work. But if we don't know the plan, we can't expect it to fail because we don't even know it to begin with. Alright, it might be kind of a stretch to call it a strategy, but that's the plan. Understood. Good answer. Anyway, don't worry. I didn't bring you two all this way without anything to show for it. We have more than one trump card up my sleeve. As for what they are, well, I'll just have to wait and see. Oh, yo! Ha ha ha, sorry about that. Makes you feel better. I'm only half serious. Ha 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 ha. Okay. I want to do the next one, but I've done so much recording today. My voice is starting to hurt. Especially since a lot of it has been reading. It's a lot easier to just like play a game and talk than it is to read and talk. I mean, well, read out loud. Like with Final Fantasy VIII today, like 3/4 of it was text, so I didn't get a break with that either. Castle, Snow and Ice End. So I imagine they're gonna break in, make me get the paper moon back, but it's not gonna go well. What if Napoleon died? That'd be a plot twist. I doubt it though. I mean, they can't kill him off 2 chapters after they introduce him. We've already unlocked most of the map though. That's cool. Too bad we don't get free quests until, afterwards. Although I guess just up here. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time for some more Fate Grand Order. I want to do more, but it's so long. Maybe I'll do one in a little bit. I'll see. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.